All right, well, welcome to the March Planning Commission meeting. We'll go ahead and get this started. Joe, you want to start roll call?
Mike Armstrong. Here. Ben Crafton. Carl Eaglin. Here. Rick Ferris.
Here.
Zach Laughlin. Jerry Ralston.
Here.
Joel Storm. Here. Patrick Tednow. Here. Josh Wilbur.
Here. All right, so with the application process, just so everybody knows in the audience, I will read off the application. Someone or someones who are going to be representing the application, just come up to the microphone. If you would, state your name and your address. At that point in time, oh, I forgot that, didn't I? Approval of minutes. So I'll go through this, and then we'll do approval of minutes. And then at that point in time, if there's anything more that you want to add to the application that we didn't hear or something more that we need to know before asking questions, you can. Then the board will ask questions about the application, and we'll give the audience a chance to ask any questions or share any concerns they might have, and then there'll be a vote taken. So with that, then we'll do approval of minutes. So everybody should have received the minutes from February. Any questions, concerns? And if not, I'll accept a motion.
I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I know, Joel, you weren't here last month. You just said it's first meeting joining us, so I don't know if for record we want to make sure that just for meeting minutes. All right. So now we get into the application. Our first application is SDAH-24-1, Alexandra Hammock. Advisory hearing for a proposed subdivision on parcel 39-08-19-000-005.001-006, consisting of 14 lots on approximately 49.5 acres. Proposed lots range in size from approximately 1.31 to 5.44 acres. Location is 3801 West Deputy Pike Road, zoned residential agriculture. You can state your name and address for us.
Lisa Hammock. My address is 6126 North 400 West, Madison, Indiana. I go by a P.O. box. I never can remember.
We understand you don't know where you live or you don't want to yeah, I got you. Anything more with this you want to?
What we're planning on doing, and by the way, this is Tony Hamlin, Krista, and Tim Baldry, partnering with us. We plan on selling secluded wooded lots, so we would really like for them to remain wooded. They're anywhere from 200 feet, I think, up to like 1,200 feet deep. So our vision is if somebody's going to go back maybe 100 plus feet before they even start their home, and we're assuming they're going to have like a pole barn or maybe a separate garage to store toys, boats, campers, those type of things that it's hard to put in town. So it's people who want to live in the country type of thing. The whole property was very wooded. We logged it recently. We're thinking the lights are going to be, instead of having city street lights, obviously the city's not out there, we were going to do pole lights like across the road. There's Trevlon Village, and they have pole lights out in front of everybody's house, the small pole lights. So we're planning on doing the same thing.
Okay.
Sidewalks, according to the subdivision regulations, due to the size of the lots, they're not required, because what I read was if there's two houses on an acre, then you had to have sidewalks, and so these are all going to be over an acre. And the other thing we were looking at is we didn't feel, I was reading the subdivision regs, and they were talking about a park. I really didn't think a park would be appropriate for the size of the lots, and they're park-like. We want them to stay in a park-like set. You know, we wanted to be secluded, wooded, that type of thing. DuPont Water is currently sizing the line, and they've been working on this now for 2 months, and I think they've been having a lot of problems with the communications going out in the county, and I think they've cut a lot of water lines, so they've been really busy, so they haven't got that done yet. But they're making sure that it's adequate, because it runs right in front of the lots. Okay. Electric is already there in front of the lots, and so are the communication lines, the new ones. talked to Brian Jackson with the city because, you know, we're within the 2-mile buffer. But he suggested that we work with the health department and use septic systems if we can. So we have to get those approved through the health department. And I think they're starting that next week to do the perk test. So that's about all I can tell you. Do you have any questions?
So Joe or Nicole, any comments on the sidewalks, to make sure that that is correct, and then to the park question that she didn't bring it up, but obviously the park subdivisions.
Yeah, so that is correct regarding the sidewalks. That's not required for the size of the lots that they're doing. Regarding the parks and open space requirement, that would be a waiver request up to the board.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to know. Okay.
Lisa, they don't have our sewer system on the other side?
They do, but it's pumped already, so I guess, what is the correct? Lift station.
I mean, it's not sized enough to handle.
So we have to
Additional.
put an additional one in just for those 14 lots to pump sewer over to that lift station, and then it gets pumped again. So it's like, I'm not sure that the monies that would cost for 14 additional lots would really be worth putting in the lift stations. Because I think it was, did I tell you, 60-some thousand? Just for like
That
one,
septic's on there,
yeah.
you know.
Will the driveways be placed by you folks? Will they be surveyed out before the lots are sold? And how's that gonna work? Cause I know you're wanting to be like 100 foot back before they build a house, but
And we will need, somebody will need to put the culverts in too for them, because there's the ditches, and I've talked to, the county, Bobby Phillips, and he said, at least the minimum is 12 inches, so they'll have to be sized according to the ditch.
so you all plan on doing any driveways for these folks?
Yeah, we plan on doing
Oh,
some.
you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we need to do some, because obviously, there's some places it's easy, you can just drive right across, and some places.
It just seems to me like if you just, keep them all the same, or close to
Yeah.
being the same.
And we need the water to flow, so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So currently, the water comes mainly from across the road from Trevlon. There's a field, and the houses are actually lower than the field, so the water flows between the houses into that ditch, and then there's 2 places that it comes over towards us in culverts underneath the county road. And then it goes on down Deputy Pike, goes around Borschtine and down Deputy Pike. So it actually has a nice fall, but it's not dramatic. So for instance, we think it's probably 10 feet maybe at the most, from the front of the lot to the back of the lot. So it's really nice, you know, in 1,000 feet or 500 feet, that's just really a nice gradual fall.
So these properties, I'm assuming by what you were saying, keeping them wooded, because when I'm thinking about, waiver of a park area, there will be restricted deeds. So in other words, there'll be restrictions on them to be able to remove those trees or remove those wooded areas. Is that
Well,
correct?
That's a good idea, because I
Well-
would like, that's a good idea. I do want a buffer
Okay.
in the front.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't know, have you guys noticed the new houses that have got up on Highway 7, north of Dawson Smith?
Like I
There's
have.
3 new homes, and they're sitting tucked back in the woods, so if the leaves are on, you can't see them, but when the leaves are off, you can, and they have nice long driveways and a home, like a 3-car garage. One guy has a garage and a pole barn, but they're just very secluded, so that helps with noise and.
Yeah, most people I would think would want it, but if you were
Right.
saying that your idea is that you would always want that to be there, and that's kind of the idea of the park, and that,
Right.
Getting that type of a fill. I don't know how you would accomplish that without having restrictions.
I like that idea, so.
Well,
I'll
no, I'm
That is a
not
good
trying to
idea.
provide the idea, I'm just asking if that was your idea or
That's
not.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that is a good, I like that.
any other questions from the board? It sounds like you got the water thing, cause I know, Patrick, you're pretty good in coming up with
Yeah,
that,
seems
those
like he-
thoughts, so.
Yeah, we called a long time ago, because
Yeah.
we knew DuPont Water was there, but you don't know what size lines they have, and so they're checking that out for us.
In my opinion too, the nature of this subdivision, I don't think a park would be suitable for this because these lots are too big and it's not a typical high-density subdivision.
Right.
Right.
Almost everybody's gonna have their own park then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 5
That was our
acres.
They all got at least over an acre or up to five, five more, so.
Yeah, so we figure they'll have their boat out there, their camper out there, and their fire pits, and all of those things that people want when they live in the country.
Yeah. Any questions, concerns from the audience? All right, hearing none. Accept a motion on this?
You don't need a motion, it's an advisory
Oh, it's an
hearing.
advisory one, that's right, yes. So, sorry,
Okay,
thank you.
The only motion I would recommend is for granting the waiver request for the parks and open space.
Okay. So, does anybody want to make a motion for a waiver request for the park?
I would move we waive the park and open space requirement for this proposed subdivision SDAH 24-1.
Second that motion.
Okay. Joe?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Rick Ferris,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Patrick Tednoff,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur.
Yes.
okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. All right, our next application is PCAF 24-2, Matthew Chandler, application to amend final plat so as to split parcel 39-13-02-241 004.000-007 into two parcels, one for each existing building. Location 301 Jefferson Street, Zone Central Business District.
Hello, Matt Chandler, 111 East Second Street, Madison, Indiana.
All right, anything more to what I just read that you want to provide?
Just real quick, it's basically two entirely different eras of buildings, and they will each harbor a different business model, one being a wine bar and the other one being duck pen bowling. And then also beneficial for grant purposes, moving forward with the construction project.
The way these are laid out, one of them will probably have a Jefferson Street address, and then the other will probably have a Second Street address.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
Find it. Any other questions from the board on this? Questions, concerns from the audience? All right, hearing none.
I would move we approve application PCAF 24-2 for Matthew Chandler to amend final plat to split a single parcel into two.
Do we
I
have-
second that.
okay, Joe?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Rick Ferris,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Patrick Tednoff,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Matt, appreciate it. Keep up the good work downtown. All right. All right, our next application is PCAF 24-3, Brian Marshall. Application to amend final plat to reorganize parcels 39-08-35-334-050.000-007 and 39-08-35-334-049.000-007 to allow new construction of an approximate 1,920 square foot structure. Location is 701 and 703 West Street, Zone Central Business District. State your name and address for us, Brian.
Brian Marshall, 201 Plum Street, Madison.
All right, thank you, Brian. Anything more to this than what I just read out? Okay. What new construction are you looking at on these, this housing
I wanted to put a barn there.
barn? Okay. Okay. Any questions from the board?
Appreciate the fact that you're cleaning up the corner and all that down there. It's gonna look nice.
Yeah,
I make,
it's-
with that, I make a motion to approve PCAF.
Well, hold on a second, don't make a motion yet. I gotta ask audience first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just making sure board. Okay. All right, any questions, concerns, comments from the audience? All right, hearing none, now Carl.
I'm out of the mood.
Okay.
I make a motion we approve PC AF-24-3 for Brian Marshall, improvements on the corner.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Joe?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Rick Ferris,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Patrick Devnall,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur.
Yes. All right, Brian, you got it. You need a nap, it looks like. All right, take care. All right, next application is PCGB-24-3, Joe Pettit. Application for general business setbacks. Applicant plans to open a self-storage complex consisting of approximately 56 storage units. Applicant is requesting setbacks of a 0 lot line on the north lot line, 10 feet on the east and south lot lines, and 5 feet on the west lot line. Location is 1643 Clifty Drive, zoned general business. Joe, you want to speak to this?
3818 North Paper Mill Road, Madison.
Anything more on this?
No.
Okay. And can you speak to the request for the 0 lot line?
That's for the sign, the sign for the front Clifty Drive.
Okay. Any questions from the board on this? None. All right, hearing none, any questions, concerns, comments from the audience? All right, with that, accept a motion. Do we want to combine the other one with the parking plan? Does the board want to combine both? So we'll talk about both here and then combine them? Is the board agreeable to that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the other application is PCAP-24-4. Same applicant, Joe Pettit, application for accessible parking plan. Applicant plans to open a self-storage complex, same thing. Applicant is required to provide 3 total parking stalls with 1 ADA parking stall and plans to provide a total of 4 parking stalls with 1 ADA parking stall. Additional temporary parking available throughout complex next to storage units for customers' use while accessing units. Again, location is still 1643 Clifty Drive, zoned general business. So, the only question would be on the parking stall, we asked quite a bit, is it a parking stall for van type for accessible parking, or is it more, is it gonna be
It'll
the
be
smaller?
van type, it would be paved where
Okay.
if somebody, I mean, the whole lot's gonna be gravel, but where the actual parking spot would be
Will be
paved
paved.
or concrete.
Okay,
You will have security fencing around.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a privacy fence. And,
Okay.
One concern I know is people worry about lighting. The
Yep.
light's gonna be on the front of the
Sorry to ask
building, shining straight down the parking lot so it doesn't interfere with the neighbors.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do big pole lights or anything like that.
okay.
Thank you.
Other questions? All right, so, any questions, comments from the audience now that we added that part to this? All right, hearing none, if, someone wants to make a motion, make sure you're making a motion for both.
I make a motion, we approve PCGB-24-3 and PCAP-24-4.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Joe?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Rick Ferris,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Joel Storm,
Yes.
Patrick Devnall,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. All right, is there any old business, new business, Joe, Nicole? Okay. So the one thing I want to bring up, is that we will be losing Joe Patterson. This is his last meeting. He's actually going to be heading up to Bloomington, Indiana tomorrow. the allure of a college town just took him away. So there's a lot more parties there, from my understanding, talking to Joe, so he's really interested in that. But he'll be back. We're pretty sure of it. But no, we do appreciate everything that you've done, Joe. You've been really easy and fun to work with. I know that, we hear a lot from a lot of the residents that come up here of how much they enjoy talking with you and how much you've helped them. So I'm sure you do extremely well in your new position. But and we're going to miss you for sure. So thank you for all you've done.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Where's the zoning meeting?
It's after this one, so
I'm here for zoning.
yeah. Yeah, this is planning commission, and then the zoning happens after us. Yeah. So, all right. So with that, I will accept the motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
All right, do a second.
All right, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There you go.
I kinda like Carl's enthusiasm.